Our next topic is two-port network. In general, the network may consist of any number of ports. It may be single port or two-port or multi-port. But in general, now we'll discuss about the two-port network. Okay, two-port network means this is the network. Again, the network may consist of resistors, okay, inductor or capacitor, or only with the resistors, or again these passive elements along with the dependent source also can be like a network, two-port network. So network means it may consist of either passive elements alone or along with the dependent sources. Okay, so we'll call that as a two-port network. Again here two-port means this is the port 1, this is the port 2. Okay, in the port 1, the voltage at the port 1 is V1, the voltage at port 2 is V2. In general, V1 we will use as a input port, V2 will use as a output port. That means here, okay, exactly at the output port, we'll be connecting the load. In the input port, we'll be connecting the source. Again, here, this will act as a network. And whenever we do the discussion with respect to two-port network, again, irrespective of the actual current flow in the circuit, here we'll call it as a current I1. Again, here we'll call it as a current I2. And remember, actually the I2 may be leaving, but we do not know. But with respect to the convention of two-port network, the current, both input current, that output current I1 and I2 will always will take the, like it is entering into the two-port network. In reality, it may be going outside or it may be going inside, that we do not know. It all depends on the circuit condition, what is the element present in the circuit, what is the source, what is the load that you are connecting. Okay, but by definition, okay, the current is always entering into the two-port network. Okay, again with respect to voltage, no problem. Again in reality, this may be negative also, we do not know. So but as per the convention, we are just putting plus sign in the top, minus sign in the bottom, as a regular voltage. Here also as a regular voltage, plus in the top, minus in the bottom. It doesn't mean that always the voltage and the current will be like this. It all depends on the circuit condition. So again, to define the characteristics of this two port, we are writing this notation. Okay, we are writing this notation. In general, if you see, out of this four quantity, we are having V1, V2, and I1 and I2. Okay, so again, these two-port network will be characterized with help of equations. It will be characterized with help of equation. So we'll write minimum two equations. Say for example, again V1, V2, V1, V2 may be written in terms of function of I1, I2, I1, I2. Again, this is also the function of I1, I2. So the voltage at the port 1 and port 2, we are representing as a function of I1 and I2. Again, here if you see this, V1 and V2 is like a dependent parameter, whereas I1 and I2 is a independent parameter. Okay, you know, whenever you write the equation, the terms that is present here is dependent, the term that is present here is independent. So at any point of time, whenever you make two equations with the two variable, okay, so you are using two independent variable, two dependent variable. Okay, so again, at any point of time, you need minimum two independent or dependent variable. When you use two dependent, automatically the remaining becomes independent. Okay, similarly again I can use something else also. I can use V1 I2 also. When I use V1 I2, if it is dependent, for example I am telling, if it is dependent, then automatically I1 and V2 becomes independent. I1 and V2 becomes independent. So at any point of time, we are using either two independent variable or dependent variable. Out of four variable, at any point of time, I am using two independent or dependent variable. Then how many combination that I can get? How many combination of such a equation I can get? So the combination is 4C2. Okay, because either I write V1 V2 or V2 V1, no problem, because I'm getting the equation. So that is combination, it's not the permutation. So 4C2, so this is equal to 6. So that means finally we'll get 6 parameters. Okay, so for any network, finally we'll get 6 parameter in general. Again, 6 parameters are possible. It doesn't mean that for a given network, always 6 parameters is possible. For a particular kind of network, we cannot write all the parameters due to some constraint. Okay, so but in general, there are 6 parameters are there. Okay, 6 parameters. They are Z parameter, Y parameter, H parameter, G parameter, ABCD parameter, and A dash B dash. That means inverse ABCD parameter. These are all the 6 parameters. Okay, Z parameter. Again, the another name for Z parameter is open circuit parameter. Open circuit parameter. Why? Because to calculate the Z parameter, we'll be doing the open circuit, either both at the input side and output side. We will be opening the terminal. That's why this is called as open circuit parameter. Again, to calculate Y parameter, we'll be using the short circuit condition. That's why this is called short circuit parameter. Again, to find the H parameter, okay, we will be using both open and short. That's why this is called as hybrid parameter. Hybrid parameter. And again, G parameter. G parameter is just opposite to the hybrid parameter. That's why this is inverse hybrid parameter. Inverse hybrid parameter. And fifth one is ABCD parameter. ABCD, or the another name for this one is T parameter. Okay, T parameter, that means transmission line parameter. Mostly for a transmission line equation. Okay, transmission line equation, or for a transformer, we'll be using ABCD parameter. That's why this is called as ABCD or T parameter. Again, the inverse of this one is A dash, B dash, C dash parameter. That is inverse transmission line parameter. Okay, inverse transmission line parameter. Please mute your mic. Okay, so out of all this, okay, mostly exam point of view, okay, we'll be getting this one, this one, this one, and this one. So even though there are 6 parameters, mostly we'll be getting Z parameter, Y parameter, H parameter, and ABCD parameter in the exams. Again, if you see the H parameter, this will be mostly used in the BJT circuit analysis. Okay, when you do the small signal BJT analysis, we'll be using H parameter model, BJT. Okay, in BJT analysis, we'll be using H parameter model. Again, for an ordinary network, if the network consists of only resistance, then we'll be using Z and Y parameter. But for any network, for even a simple network, you can write all these parameters. For even a simple network, you can write all these parameters. But once if it is a transformer, you can write only ABCD parameter. You cannot write Z and Y parameter, because already I told you, whenever you have a transformer, the transformer equations cannot be represented with respect to Z parameter. Okay, so that we'll see in detail later why we cannot represent the transformer with respect to Z or Y parameter. Okay, then how it is represented with only ABCD parameter. Okay, so what I'm telling, in general, for a given network, you can write all the parameter in general. Okay, so almost most of the time you can write the all the parameters. Okay, first Z parameter. Z parameter. So Z parameter means V1 is equal to Z11 I1 and Z12 I2. V2 is equal to Z21 I1 and Z22 I2. So that means what? The input voltage, input port voltage and output port voltage is represented in terms of input current and output port current. Here V1, V2 is a dependent variable. V1, V2 is dependent variable because V1 depends on I1 and I2, whereas I1 and I2 is independent variable. I1 and I2 is independent variable. Okay, independent variable in the sense, again, it is not in your control, but it will decide your output. Okay, that is the idea of independent variable. Okay, so others, please mute the mic. Please mute your mic. Okay. So then from this, how to calculate Z11? Okay, then if I want to calculate Z11, that is equal to V1 by I1, that is possible when I2 is equal to 0. Okay, I2 is equal to 0 means, okay, the current at the port 2 is 0. The current at port 2 is 0. So it means what? Suppose in reality, if there is some load here, okay, if there is some load in reality, then you have to remove that load. Okay, you have to open circuit. Okay, because in reality, okay, in a practical circuit, you'll be having some source and some load. So you remove that load. Once if you remove that load, again, this terminal will act as a open circuit. This terminal will act as a open circuit. Then what will be the value of the current I2? That is 0. So that means you are doing the open circuit for the terminal 2, then you can calculate Z11, that is V1 by I1. Okay, and what is the unit of this one? Unit is simply ohm. So unit is simply ohm. And again, once if you do this operation, once if you make I2 0, parallelly you can easily calculate what is Z21, that is V2 divided by I1. Okay, in the same circuit you calculate the relation between V2 and I1, then again I2 is equal to 0. Then you open circuit the input side, then you can calculate Z12, that is V1 divided by I2. Again I1 is equal to 0. Again Z22 is equal to V2 divided by I2, that is I1 is equal to 0. So it is always better to remember this equation, and after, from this equation you just try to write this so that you will not make any mistake. Or otherwise also directly also you can write, say for example, this one will come in the numerator, this one will come in the denominator. That means the first term will come in the numerator and the second term will come in the denominator. Say for example, how to write without this equation. Suppose I need Z11, then first one is V1. Anyway, I know finally this will be in impedance format. So definitely the numerator is voltage and the denominator is current. The two here, one is there, that is I1. Then when I am doing this operation, what is the procedure allowed? Either I have to make I1 0 or I2 0. That means I have to do the open circuit. Already I1 is there. Then what should be I2? I2 only 0. Similarly, suppose if I want Z12, then V1 divided by I2. Again, I can make only I1 is equal to 0 because this is the open circuit parameter. So already I2 is there, so that I have to make I1 as 0. Suppose if they are giving Z21, then V2 divided by I1, then I have to make I2 as 0 because already I1 is there, only I can make I2 as 0. Similarly, if we need Z22, then V2 by I2, then I1 is equal to 0. So writing in, so whenever you write this, you have to keep it in your mind that you are writing the open circuit parameter, because all the Z parameters are open circuit parameter. That means either you have to make I1 as 0 or I2 as 0. So what you need here, you write that, then the rest of the thing you can write it as I2 as 0. So without writing this equation also, directly you can write this, but it is better advisable always you write this equation, then from this you try to write this so that you will not make a mistake. Okay, and one more important thing, you have to remember this equation, see very precisely. Ultimately for all the parameters, you have to remember this equation exactly as it is given in the format. Okay, once if you forget this parameter, then you cannot solve the problem. So whenever you come to the two-port network, you have to remember the standard format of the equations. Okay, so this is the Z parameter. Then once if I know Z parameter, see already network is given, some network is given. For this network I am defining with respect to the parameter finally, that is Z11, Z12, Z22, Z21 and Z22. Okay, so this is the parameter representation of the network. This network characteristics is defined by this matrix. Okay, this parameter. Okay, the parameter we can write it as a matrix. Okay, because if you see here, this also you can represent as a matrix. Okay, that means V1, V2, V1, V2 is equal to Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22, and I1, I2. This also you can represent as a matrix. So finally, the network is represented as a matrix. The two-port given network is represented as a matrix. Again, we do not know what is the connection here. Okay, we do not know what is the connection here. But once if we know the matrix, from this matrix we can draw some network. Okay, from this matrix we can draw some network. Again, that network need not to be exactly same with respect to the physical appearance. With respect to the physical appearance, it may not be exactly same as the original network, but whatever the performance that this network is doing, the same performance this network also will do. Okay, so what is the idea here? You are having some network, somehow you are writing the two-port parameter. Okay, two-port network parameter, that is Z parameter. Again, from this Z parameter I can construct one new network. That new network will simulate the function of this network, because what I am interested finally at the end of the day, what I am interested, I am giving some voltage. Okay, then what is the current drawn from that? I connect the same load, whatever the load that is available here, I connect same load. Then what is the performance at the output side? That will remain same. Okay, that will remain same. So again, so what is the idea here? If you have a network, you can write the Z parameter. Once if you have a parameter, you can model the network. Again, that network need not to be exactly same as the original network, but it will do the operation of the original network. That is the idea. So once if you have this pattern, this Z parameter, then how to construct the network, how to construct the network. Again in this case the network may consist of dependent sources also. We can construct network in any manner, with dependent source or without dependent source. Now we'll see how to construct the network with dependent source. So now we are given with this equation. The equation is V1 Z11 I1 and Z12 I2. V2 is equal to Z21 I1, Z22 I2. So from this, how to construct the network? Okay, I can write one impedance here, that is Z11. Okay, now the current, again I can write here one current dependent voltage source Z12 I2, and here also one current dependent voltage source, that is Z21 I1. Then this is Z22. Okay, I can write the network model like this. Again, this network model consists of the dependent sources. Okay, if you see here, we know whenever once we constructed the network, this is plus minus V1, and again I1 is the current entering. This is plus minus V2, and I2 is the current entering. Now you apply the KVL in the input loop, you apply the KVL in the output loop. Again, you know, once if you have this structure, these two, again some parameter here, some voltage source may depend on the current or voltage here, but you can independently write the KVL. You write the KVL in the first loop. Okay, you write the KVL in the first loop and second loop. Once if you write KVL, V1 is equal to I1 into Z11, this is the current dependent voltage source. This voltage depend on what is the current here. Okay, then that is Z1 to I2. So you will get this equation. V1 is equal to Z11 I1 plus Z1 to I2. Similarly, once if you write KVL here, you will get V2 is equal to V2 is equal to Z2 to I2, that is here and Z21 I1, that is here. So you'll get the second equation. So again, if you connect your source and load for this network, okay, finally it will provide the same performance of this one. Again, the original network could have been in some other format, we do not know, but this network and a newly constructed network will perform in the same way. That is the idea of the two-port network theory. So once if you are given with the circuit, you should be able to write it as a two-port parameter, or otherwise if you are given with the two-port network, two-port parameters, you should be able to construct the model circuit. Okay, that is the idea of the two-port network theory. Again, what is this Z11? Finally, the Z11 is called open circuit input impedance. Open circuit, because we are doing the open circuit at the output side, then we are measuring the input impedance. Okay, that is what Z11 is equal to V1 by I1. Then when I2 is equal to 0, so you are doing open circuit, then you are measuring the input impedance. Okay, input voltage divided by input current. Okay, so we are not simply measuring V1 by I1, we are measuring V1 by I1 by opening the output terminal. That's why this is called as open circuit input impedance. And again, Z21 is forward transfer impedance. Forward transfer impedance. Forward transfer impedance means Z21 is equal to V2 by I1. So you are taking the ratio of the voltage at the output side to the current at the input side. Okay, that's why this is called as forward transfer. This is called as forward transfer impedance. That time again, uh, this is also you are doing the open circuit, but again all are open circuit only. So for open circuit forward transfer impedance, and again Z12 is equal to reverse transfer impedance. Reverse transfer impedance Z12 is equal to V1 by I2 reverse transfer impedance. Z22 is equal to open circuit output impedance, open circuit output impedance, because Z22 is equal to V2 by I2, that time will make I1 as 0. Okay, so this is all about the Z parameter. So next we will see the Y parameter. Okay, so Y parameter means the dependent variables are currents and independent variables are voltage. So Y11 V1, Y12 V2, Y21 V1, Y22 V2. Okay, then how to calculate Y11? Y11 is equal to I1 divided by V2, I1 divided by, I1 divided by V1, when V2 is equal to 0. V2 is equal to 0 means you are making the voltage as a short circuit. That means you have to short circuit. Okay, you have to do the short circuit. This is the original network. Here you have to make a short. Okay, if load is there, you remove the load, then you make the short circuit, then only that V2 will become 0. Okay, so once if you do the short circuit at the output side, then if you measure input side this ratio, that ratio is Y11. Okay, then similarly, what is Y21? Again, in the same circuit, you can calculate Y21, that is I2 divided by V1, that time V2 is 0, and then Y12, that is I1 by V2, V1 is equal to 0, Y22, I2 divided by V2, V1 is equal to 0. Then how to represent this equation in terms of the network? Okay, so same equation, I1 is equal to Y11 V1, Y12 V2, I2 is equal to Y21 V1 and Y22 V2. Again, you know, admittance means simply the 1 by impedance. 1 by impedance is admittance. So again, you know how to apply the Ohm's law. Whenever you have a impedance, the voltage V is equal to I into Z. Okay, I into Z. Okay, or otherwise you can write this Z as 1 by Z into V, and I. Again, 1 by Z is like a admittance. So admittance multiplied with the voltage is like current. Admittance multiplied with the voltage is like current. Okay, so now how can I represent the network? So I'll take one admittance here. I take one admittance. Okay, then again, once if I provide I1 current, then uh, again the part of the current is Y11 V1. Then again, I cannot provide V2 here, but V2 is from other output terminal. That's why I can use it dependent current sources. Okay, so again, this has to be the current because this is current, so this has to be current. So this entire quantity has to be current only. So that current is dependent current. Okay, this current is dependent current. Again, it's flowing this way, but that value is y12 v2. Okay, so you apply I1 here, and then this is plus v1, because once if you apply I1 here, okay, it's no problem, it's I1 is there. Then once if you again v1 will be there, v1 multiplied with y11 will give what is the current here. That current is y11 v1, and also you know what is the current here, that is y12 v2. Then once if you add these two current, you will get I1, you will get I1. So similarly in the other side also you can write, okay, one dependent current source y21 v1 and one impedance, okay, that y22. Then this is plus minus v2 and I2 is entering. Then once if you apply that rule, you will get this equation also, second equation also you will get. Okay, so what is this here, that y11 is short circuit input admittance, short circuit input admittance. Because when you calculate y11, you are making v2 as a short, so this is short circuit input admittance. What is y21? Y21 is I2 by v1, I2 by v1, that is like a forward transfer admittance. Okay, forward transfer admittance, forward transfer admittance. Again, what is y12? Y12 is equal to I1 by v2, that means reverse transfer admittance, reverse transfer admittance. And then finally, what is y22? Y22 is equal to I2 by v2, that means short circuit output admittance, short circuit output admittance. This is all about the y parameter. Then h parameter. Okay, first we will see all the definitions, basic definitions of the parameter. Later we'll take some circuit and we'll try to find out all the parameters. H parameter is equal to V11, H11 I1, H12 V2, I2 is equal to H21 I1, and then H22 V2. So then H11 is equal to V1 divided by I1 when V2 is equal to 0. Then H21 is equal to I2 divided by I1 when V2 is equal to 0. H12 is equal to V1 divided by V2 when I1 is equal to 0. H22 here is equal to I2 divided by V2, I2 divided by V2 when I1 is equal to 0. So if you see here, to find out H11 and H21, we are doing the short circuit at the output terminal. But whereas to find out H12 and H22, we are doing the open circuit at the input terminal. That means in the same circuit, we are doing open circuit at one terminal, short circuit in the another terminal. That's why these parameters are called as hybrid parameter, because we are using both open circuit as well as the short circuit. That's why this parameter is called a hybrid parameter. Then what is the unit of this one? H11 is V1 by I1. Simply, this is the unit of ohm. And again, this is the short circuit. Okay, this is the short circuit input impedance, because you are making the output, short. That's why this impedance is called a short circuit input impedance. Okay, then what is this? What is this H21? It is a current ratio. Okay, it is like a current gain in the circuit. And again, for a current gain here, you know, there is no unit. For a gain, no unit. And what is H12? That is V1 by V2. It is like a reverse voltage gain, because V2 by V1 means forward voltage gain, but we are taking V1 by V2. It is like a reverse voltage gain, and it is also not having any unit, no unit. And H22 is output, I2 by V2, that means output admittance, that too open circuit, because at the input side you are doing open, that's why this is a open circuit output admittance, open circuit output admittance. So here the unit is simply mho, okay, simply mho. Now what is the circuit model for this one? V1 is equal to H11 I1, H12 V2, again I2 is equal to H21 I1, H22 V2. Okay, so the input voltage is H11 I1. I know this is impedance. H11 means impedance. Okay, I can put like a resistance, then multiplied with the current, then extra voltage. That voltage I will represent as a dependent voltage source. So one impedance is there at the input side with the dependent voltage source. That dependent voltage source is H12 V2. Again, output side, if you see the current, okay, current means one current in addition with another current. Okay, so this current I can easily write with respect to H. Again, if you see here H22 V2, here H22 is not a impedance, it is like admittance. Then once if I multiply admittance with the voltage, then I will get some current. Okay, so that's why one part I will put like this. Okay, so this is H22. Again, anyway, V2 will be there in general. Once if you connect H22 in this manner, definitely across that V2 will be there. But along with that, I am getting some other current, okay, H21 I1, but that current is decided by what is the current in the input loop. That's why I will represent that as a dependent current source. I will represent that as a dependent current source. That is H21 I1. Okay, then this is overall I2. Okay, so this is plus minus V2. This is plus minus V1. This is I1 entering. Okay, so this is the representation model for the H parameter. Then what is H11? H11 is H11 is short circuit input impedance. Short circuit input impedance. Short circuit, because when you calculate H11, you are doing the short circuit at the output terminal. That's why this is called as short circuit input impedance. What is H12? H12 is like a V1 by H12 is equal to V1 by V2. It's like a reverse voltage gain. Reverse voltage gain. Okay, then what is H21? It is like I2 by I1. That means forward current gain. Forward current gain. H22 is like output admittance. Okay, that too, that time when you are doing open circuit at the input terminal. So that's why open circuit output admittance, open circuit output admittance. Okay, here the unit is ohm, no unit, no unit. Again, this is also no unit, and again here the unit is mho. Okay, so next G parameter. Again, this G parameter is something just opposite to the H parameter. That's why first you write the H parameter. Okay, because you have to remember the H parameter. The H parameter value is V11 H11 I1 plus H12 V2. I2 is equal to H21 I1 and H22 V2. Okay, again to get the G parameter from H parameter, okay, already you are having H parameter, then you have to go to the G parameter. Then without changing anything, okay, wherever V is there, replaced by I, wherever I is there, replaced by V. Okay, then please do not change any subscript. Okay, that subscript you keep as it is. Okay, then if V is there, put I. If I is there, put V. And you know, H has to be replaced by G. So once if you do that, I1 is equal to G11, I1 is equal to G11 V1, okay, G12 I2, okay, then V2 G21 V1 G22 I2. Okay, so this is the G parameter model, G parameter model. Okay, so once this session is over, you can start with the same link. Okay, so then G11 is equal to I1 by V1 when I2 is equal to 0. Similarly, G21 is equal to V2 by V1, again I2 is equal to 0. G12 is equal to I1 by I2 when I1 by I2 when V1 is equal to 0. Again G22 is equal to V2 by I2 when V1 is equal to 0. Again, in general, will not be asked to find out the G parameter in the exam. So that's why we'll not give much attention to this. Okay, so just we'll discuss about the parameter, G parameter, that's it. We will not find out the G parameter actually for a circuit. So then again, what is the model for this circuit? Okay, uh, that is I1 is equal to G11 V1 G12 I2 V2 is equal to G21 V1 G22 I2. Again, input side, if you see input current is represented as G11 V1, then G12 I2, then definitely this G11 has to be the admittance. Okay, G11 has to be the admittance. Then I'll put one G11 here. Okay, then plus minus V1, this is I1. Then this is dependent current source that I can put like this, dependent current source, that is G12 I2. Okay, then output side, if you see